Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Saurav Kumar, founder and CEO of Euler Motors. Thank you to all of you for being here, my friends, my shareholders, media friends, and my amazing Euler Motors team who is cheering for me from the back. Thank you all. It feels so special to stand amongst you today. Thank you for trusting in Euler Motors. I see so many of you, and I met a couple of you today as well, that have been spending time over the last 2.5 years while I was researching about this product. And by the end of the day today, you will realize how much of your input have shaped this day. By the end of the day today, you will also realize that how much of this input that shaped the day today, but you will also feel a belongingness to the Euler Motors community. The community which is working toward accelerating the India's transition to sustainable mobility. I hope that but because what we are unveiling today is not just a product, it's a game changer. It's a game changer for you, for your customers, and everyone in the ecosystem. We have already launched two of the India's finest commercial EVs. We launched the Euler High Load EV in 2021, and then we launched the Storm Long Range EV 1500 last year. Both of these products are phenomenal. They are great in their specs, performance, efficiency, design. But what made these products truly special is not that these technical specs, but the way they have blended into your daily livelihood. And today, on the first day of Navratri, on this first auspicious day of Navratri, I am feeling humbled, grateful, and with a lot of gratitude, I'm going to talk about and unveiling the third commercial cargo EV from Euler Motors. But before I talk about commercial and the launch of this product, what I really want to talk about is that every morning when you get up in the morning, there's already a three-wheeler or a four-wheeler driver on the road, which is bringing your phal sabji from the mandi, they're bringing your medicines from the pharmacy, they're bringing your packets that you have ordered last night. And this is the Indian logistics moving. This is India moving. And if you look at their daily lives, they're working day and night, they're working long hours to earn a livelihood for themselves. But if you look at the ecosystem, your fuel costs are rising, your maintenance costs are going out of control, they're barely breaking even. And if they're barely breaking even, then how will they become self-reliant? I mean, they are working day and night for the better of their family. They are working day and night to give education to their kids, to get their, to see their sons doing better for themselves. But how will they do it if you don't have these fuel costs out of control? And then on top of this, if you look at, and on top of this, the vehicles that they are driving, the pollutions from these vehicles, the smoke, it's almost 33% of air pollution of the cities that we are breathing in. And this smoke is in our lungs, it's in our skies, it's clouding our children's future. I'm a father now. I have a son who is 6 months old, is in the audience today. Excuse him if he cries. He might not understand what we are committing to today. But 20 years from now, he's going to see what decisions did we take today to make India better, a cleaner planet, and a cleaner planet. So With that vision, we started Euler Motors in 2018. क्योंकि ऐसा तो देखिए नहीं चल सकता है that you allow the pollutions to continue. So we thought electric is not an option anymore. It's not an option anywhere in the globe. It's not an option anywhere in India. And so it's not an option. So we thought that when we were building Euler, we had an opportunity for both, I think, for the company and also for the India. The opportunity lies, I would say, not in terms of just building a product which is better, cleaner, but a product which is more affordable, more profitable. We have an opportunity to leapfrog the entire segment in the sense that why do we only have to follow the global, I would say, innovation? Why not India lead this and not just follow? Why don't we become Atmanirbhar as a country? And this is where I would say my dream, this is where Euler Motors' dream is, and this is where I think the India is also dreaming. And today, Euler Motors is taking a giant leap forward toward making that dream a reality. But before I tell you how, allow me to give you a formal explanation, or I would say introduction to Euler Motors and what we are doing. So, okay, these slides are not, I think these slides are not matching to somewhere. Apologies for that. Yeah. So to allow me to formally introduce Euler Motors to you, we are a born electric brand. We started in 2018. When you are a new brand, and I came from, I would say, non-automotive background, so there was a clean slate. I didn't know the limitations, or I didn't understand fully the complexities of manufacturing, and so you can, as a naive engineer jumping into the automotive field, so what it allowed us to do was to think customer first. We looked at what are the challenges our customers are facing, and then how do we work on engineering from a vertical integration, from deep R&D, and solve for those problems. And when we did that, we did all of that right here in Delhi NCR. And when we did that, we brought multiple segments first. We were the first ones to bring liquid cooled electric batteries in three-wheeler cargo in 2021, when nobody was thinking about it. I think till now, maybe one or two, but it's still one of the best technology out there. There are vehicles that are outlasted, I would say, 5 years in service, and they're still not showing a sign of aging. We were the first ones to bring four-wheeler ADAS, night vision assist in four-wheeler, which people still do not associate. Why do you need some of these tech? And answer for that always goes to customers first. And in terms of the performance and range that I spoke about earlier, we are number one over there. We are one of the best that industry can get. And this allowed, of course, when the customer expectation matched to what we were delivering, our customers demanded more. They gave us input, they gave us guidance. We listened directly. Sometimes they gave guidance directly, sometimes indirectly, but we listened and we responded. And when that response, we grew. We grew from the humble beginning from Delhi NCR to now almost 60 cities with 80 showrooms. And in the cities that we are selling, we are the top 3 brands. Today, there's already 11,000 vehicles that is on the road. And we are a strong, I would say, community of 6,500 to 7,000 customers. That should give you like more vehicles on the road, lesser customers. So there is a strong, if you see, a repeat purchase behavior happening. That means customer sees value in us, and that value truly humbles us, because when you see that they're coming back to you to take another vehicle from you, That value humbles us but makes us proud that because we are delivering something that they want. In fact, the most important metric that really matters to us is the success that they have received, the wins they have got in their life, the struggles that they overcome while they bought the vehicle and then continued earning from it, and the trust that they have in Euler Motors. Some of these stories really moves us, and it gives you that energy every single day. When there are these ups and downs, you still come back to work and you want to push that forward. And some of these stories, what I would like, in fact, our team to share that with you. Yeah, can we have the
दूसरे लोगों से भाड़े पे लेके गाड़ी चलाना तो बहुत महंगा पड़ रहा था। ईवी गाड़ी लेने के बाद हमें सस्ता पड़ने लगा, जिससे हमारा बिजनेस में बहुत अच्छी ग्रोथ हो रही है।
5 வண்டி இருக்கு, இது கொஞ்சம் பெஸ்டா இருக்கு, அது கொஞ்சம் பெரிய வண்டியா இருக்கு, சிட்டில போறதுக்கு கஷ்டமா இருக்கு, இதெல்லாம் போனா சல்லன் போயிட்டு சல்லன் வருது கொஞ்சம்।
मैंने एक अपना घर भी खुद का लिया है और मेरा पूरे घर का जो है ना सब कुछ इसी से चल रहा है। कस्टमरों में से एक ऐसा कस्टमर हूँ जिसने इस गाड़ी के साथ में 1 लाख किलोमीटर पर पूरे कर चुका हूँ।
अभी मेरी गाड़ी चल गई है 1,04,000 समथिंग किलोमीटर,
1,25,000 से समथिंग 400-500 अप्रोक्सीमेटली।
1,01,175 किलोमीटर मेरी गाड़ी चल चुकी है।
ओवरऑल मेरा एक्सपीरियंस काफी अच्छा रहा यूजर के साथ और ऑलमोस्ट करीबन 7-8 लाख रुपए तो मैं बचा ही लिया सीएनजी में।
हमारा ऑलरेडी एक व्हीकल है, वो सीएनजी बेस है, बट उसमें बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस आते हैं हमें। एक तो सीएनजी की लाइन होती है, तो हमें समहाउ ईवी पे शिफ्ट करना ही था।
सुबह हमारी गाड़ी निकलती है, इसकी दिल्ली में कोई नो एंट्री वगैरह भी नहीं है, जबकि अदर गाड़ियों की सीएनजी वाली कोई भी अदर कंपनी गाड़ियों की नो एंट्री है।
मैं चाह रही हूँ अपने गरीब कर दे, और इसमें मेरा पूरे दिन का 100 रुपये खर्चा होता है, महीने में मेरे 15,000 रुपये बचे।
And this has created a significant impact that we didn't deliver alone. All of you together helped us deliver this impact. Our vehicles have done more than 20 crore kilometers on the road. They have offsetted 70 lakh liters of diesel, 17,000 tons of CO2 emission, and 8 lakh trees we would have planted together. So I would like all of you to take your hands up and applaud, because this is a success because of you, the ecosystem coming together and delivering this. And I would like to share from a small AV from our financing partner who made this possible.
We have partnered with Euler ever since our early days. In fact, within our portfolio, I would reckon Euler is actually one of the top performing OEMs.
Especially when people are going to the oilers for extra load, less maintenance, and the income is very good.
Euler is very quick in responding on ground, but our Euler fleet has been up more than 99.9% time. We've seen many examples where vehicles which have already clocked more than 70,000-80,000 kilometers are still going strong and clocking 3,000 to 4,000 kilometers every month.
In the used vehicle market or in the resale market, this product sells better than many other manufacturers' product. What we also like is Euler has created an Euler Assured service so that the new buyer can rest assured that the product is functioning well.
Euler team has actually been very forward-leaning in their ability to create a lot of data transparency on the usage of the vehicle, the performance of the vehicle, the battery health, the locations, everything that we want to know as a financier to be able to underwrite the vehicles and create better financing products for customers.
Now let's take a step backward and let's zoom out for a bit and see the part of the industry that Euler Motors and some of the OEMs are. So the India logistics where Euler Motors is forming, it's roughly 6,25,000 volume annually. And there are two main pillars of this, the three-wheeler cargo and the four-wheeler cargo. Three-wheeler cargo is roughly 1,25,000 vehicle a year industry, and the four-wheeler cargo is roughly 5 lakh a year. When I'm talking about the three-wheeler cargo, they typically operates around the 500 to 750 kg segment, and they're carrying your fruits, vegetable, e-commerce, your FMCG and logistics. And then when you're looking at the four-wheeler, they do all of what three-wheeler does, but all the way till 2 ton in the payload. So also your segments become more heavy. So all of course, what three-wheeler does, but also it brings the hardware, construction, electrical, so all the heavy stuffs. These two segments is where we are operating. Now, when I look at the three-wheeler, the electrification has been phenomenal. I think over the last couple of years, we have now gone to 23%. Euler High Load EV was launched around the October 2021, and we set multiple benchmark at that point of time in terms of our performance, the payload carrying capacity. The ecosystem also trusted the vehicle, infrastructure followed, electrification happened. And this is where I think we feel that the segment will continue to grow, because customers are truly believing that the electric alternative is delivering what they're requiring from a vehicle. But when it comes to four-wheeler, the electrification is a bit flat. I mean, it's roughly around 1.5%. It's not growing at the pace that you would want to. Euler Storm was also launched into this last year. If we look at, I mean, we went back and we've been thinking why the electrification is not happening. And of course, like going back to 2018, our thesis was that how does Euler accelerate India's transition? So this always used to bother us. And we were thinking that what does it require for this electric? Is the demand not there? But that's not true. The demand also exists. I mean, when I'm speaking to a lot of the brand partner, the logistics partner, they talk about getting. The intent is also there. It's not about intent also. Then why this electrification is not happening? So we did a simple business 101. We drew like performance on one axis, which is performance of an, let's just say, a diesel vehicle. And then we looked at the saving and affordability on one axis. We found that like in the market, primarily you have these ICE engine vehicle where performance is really good, but they are not that great on your pocket because of the fuel costs and some of these that we recently looked at. And then you have some of the EVs, which is good at your pocket. They generate good of saving, but they're not that great at performance. They're that bit lower than what ICE can deliver. And in this lies the answer to the problem, because what is absent in the market is that you don't have an and product, you have an or. Either you get the performance, but you don't get the affordability saving, or you get affordability and saving, but you don't get the performance. And this is where we have been spending our time in terms of how can we build a product that gives you not an or, it gives you the and option, affordability and performance. And that, when we believe we deliver that, and you can truly leapfrog. And this is where what over the last, I would say, 2.5 years, we have been working a product which can deliver on both performance and affordability, because then fleet owners, they can run more, they can carry more, they will break down less, and they will earn more. They will switch to EVs when the economics will make sense. They will switch to EV when the performance of these vehicles are really good and they're at par with the ICE engine, or in fact, it's better than that. And this is the piece of puzzle that we worked on. So over the last 2.5 years, we were thinking about how do we fundamentally think about building a commercial vehicle that can change this. And there we thought about a couple of things. A, how can we make it competitively priced with respect to ICE? And how do we make sure that it is superior in performance with respect to ICE? And that can just happens to be an EV, because when you do that, that is when we can say that we have truly arrived, that we truly have a vehicle that can lead the electrification journey. And as a proud Indian brand, we wanted to make India proud, and we wanted to have our customer basically a proud owner of, I would say, a global superior brand, not just a product which is Indian, but global superior. And I'm proud to present today that the Euler Turbo EV 1000, the Euler Turbo EV 1000. The Euler Turbo EV 1000 is the world's 1-ton mini truck vehicle, the world's, not just India, the world's 1-ton mini truck. That gives you both performance and affordability. It does not compromise on performance to give you affordability, or it compromises on affordability to give you performance. It is both. In terms of performance, when I say it is the higher payload, your torque, your power, your gridability, all of that you need from a vehicle when you are in daily roads and you have these different kinds of payload. And in terms of affordability, I'll come to the price. I know you want to know the price, but what I can say at this point of time is that this will generate the highest saving a vehicle can do, which is roughly, I'll tell you, 1.15 lakh in a year. This is an average case scenario where we are doing, I think, around 80 kilometers a day and only driving 300 days, and assuming 60 days they don't like to drive, which is not the case. We have seen if somebody is driving 1 lakh kilometer in 3 years, they are driving much more. So this is the minimum that you can save from this vehicle. And it's in terms of affordability, while from the picture you might have got the idea that it's going to be very competitively priced. We'll come to that in a bit. So my team and I are proud to bring this innovation to you. Your feedbacks, your inputs have shaped this product. So I would say that take a bit of pride in that, because each one of you have contributed. You have told about the earning potential, you have told about the EMIs, you have told about what is the maintenance, you have told about the payload, you have told about all of the things. We just listened and we just tried our way of thinking from scratch and delivering that product to you. Because together we have put India in a global EV manufacturing roadmap. This product is not just an India, I would say, first. This will be, and we have checked all kinds of websites to figure out if there is any alternative that is there to this product in the world. So now, before we talk about the product, I want to talk about a product like this doesn't just come there. I mean, we have been spending a lot of time, but I'll try to simplify it very quickly for all of us. What it takes to build the product, what are some of the pillars that guided our uncompromising principles. There were 4 of them we looked at: performance, efficiency, design, and the vertical integration. When we talk about the performance, there are 7 main key pillars that we looked at. 7 key pillars from your chassis, axle, tire, suspension, steering, brakes, and battery. This is what is primarily responsible for making sure that the vehicle truly delivers what you need from it: the payload, the gridability, the torque, the power. So let me quickly talk about the performance bit. So when you think about building a house, you think about the foundation first. Similarly, when you're thinking about building any of the vehicle, you think about the chassis, because chassis is where everything is mounted, the entire vehicle is built. And we have taken a rectangular box section. So in terms of if you look at the chassis, there are 2 kinds. You have a ladder kind of a chassis. So you can see if you put it vertically, it is a ladder. Or you have a space frame. Space frame is typically people use in cars where you need lighter weight and strength. For higher loadability, you need something that is where you can put more denser load, lighter load, heavier load. So this is what we have chosen. And within the you have options of what we have seen is India traditionally used simple C sections, but we have gone with the box section because it offers higher torsional rigidity. What that means is even when you are going through these bumpy roads, it will be able to take a lot more fatigue, so that will give you a lot more life. These are some of the things that you find in a lot of global top variants of the product on which we build. And there are 2 of these for the lighter and the denser cargo. So eventually you will get the 3 variants, but the performance series will have a 2.5 and the regular will have a 2 millimeter thickness section. The length of the frame, it goes from the 11.5 feet to 12.5. This is mainly to give two kinds of load bodies. If you have a 7.6 sort of a feet deck length and then 8.3. Again, you have like very narrow roads of, let's just say, Indian tier 1 cities, or if you want to carry more, drive longer, then you have a higher sort of dimension load body available as well. When it comes to the rigid axle, so axles, we have used both in the front and back rigid axles. They're again built from a tubular member to give you more stability, so that specifically when you're doing the heavy, denser cargo loading and you're going through these navigating different turns. When we're coming to tires, you have the standard R12, which is common in the industry, which is R12, but we have also added an R13, again for the denser cargo application, where you are needing to carry more with a higher rating so that you can take denser cargos. We have a roll arrest device in the front. This is especially if you have like voluminous goods. If you have seen nowadays, you have these, pardon him. When you have with e-commerce, you're ordering a lot of voluminous this. So your vehicle typically end up having your center of gravity goes up, and especially if you are navigating, so you wanted a roll arrest device, so it makes sure that the vehicle doesn't topple. So this is something, these are smaller things that we have picked up from like the market trends and looking at how engineering we can fix some of these problems. So this is more of a safety thing that we had built in. In terms of suspension, we have gone with two options. You have a parabolic leaf suspension and 2+6 in one variant, 2+7 in another. 2+7 is for again the denser cargo application that you have. We have also kept the servicing of suspension in mind. So this leaf suspension you will be able to find at every nook and corner of the Indian roads. So in case you need to add, replace, you will be able to find these. Now, one of the points, remember I was making about Atmanirbharta of the driver. These guys are driving on road for long hours. They're working on all of these tough trains. The payloads are varying. Their shoulders hurt at the end of the day when they go back home. So what we really worked on was, while we have both a mechanical steering and electric power steering. In mechanical steering, we have one of the highest ratio that is there. What does this ratio mean? Is when you rotate a bit, it will allow the vehicle to rotate better. So this is where, so it reduces the effort on its shoulder. So 34:1 is the highest that you get in the segment. In fact, I think mechanical, you might not get a lot of like requirement for the electric, but what electric does is gives you that smooth, jerk-free feeling. So you will not feel the road, because we sense that how much you want to turn. We send the signal to a motor, and then the motor drives the steering for you. So you have both options of mechanical and the electric power steering in the vehicle. The brake, we added a twin load compensating rear valve. So, and this is in an X configuration. So basically there are two configurations, whether you can get an H, which is like, so front two brakes connected, rear two brakes connected, or you can get an X variant. We have gone for X, that in case brake fails, you at least have one forward and one rear. If you go for a regular H, then the front fails, then you don't have anything in front. If the rear fails, you don't have anything in the rear. So this is again selecting for better safety for our driver. And this is twin load also compensating, which it means is, if it is loaded more, the brakes will respond accordingly, versus if it's a lighter vehicle, let's just say the loads are not there, then the rear brakes will reduce. But if the loads are more, then the rear brakes will increase. And that will make sure that your wheel is not locking. And that is something, it adapts, the braking of the vehicle adapts. We have one of the highest disc brake in the segment. So 230, 234 is one of the maximum that you can get in the segment, and to make sure that your braking distance are great. Battery. One of the most important part, I think everybody, if you have thought about buying an electric vehicle, you think about the batteries. And this is an IP67, so of course, I mean, it does not get affected if there's rain, there's submerged water. This is also this time we have while we do lasers to do a lot of the weldings internally, but we also added a thermally conductive structural adhesive. What this allows it to do is that your batteries are held very, very firmly. So even after multiple years of usage and all of those shocks and everything, the battery stays firm inside. So battery, remember, is one of the things we have been doing since day one, because that vertical integration and the India story that I talked about, battery is the critical thing. It's one of the most expensive thing in the vehicle. So we wanted to push the boundary at each step further and further. This has also made the vehicle a bit more lighter so that it becomes lighter, but we made sure that the vehicle battery stays strong. We also have introduced 3 variants of these batteries. So you have low voltage 73 and 96, and then you also have a 320 volt liquid cooled battery pack in this segment. What this means is you need 320 volt for CCS. We'll come to that. CCS, fast charging, this has now become norm in the industry, that if you're going long distance you need fast charging, and for fast charging you need a CCS. For CCS, which is operating usually around these 3, so you have options of switching to a higher voltage battery pack, and we give you options of both. So performance. Now coming to efficiency. Efficiency, though, I think हम सबको काफी मालूम है, especially when we talk about commercial vehicles. कितना देती है? I think that has become like everybody knows. कितना देती है? कोई भी vehicle we think about that. For us, what does that mean? What is the range a vehicle can deliver? कि मैं charging किया 10 यूनिट का तो मुझे कितना range मिलेगा? कितना टाइम में मिलेगा? पूरी बैटरी कितनी जल्दी चार्ज होगी? That is the charge. Power, and that fundamentally translates to us to powertrain efficiency. How can I make my motors and my powertrain so efficient that this same amount of battery pack can do more range than, let's just say, anyone else? Because as you increase the battery to get more range, your cost of the vehicle also increases. So powertrain efficiency, and then modes depending on what. So though all of our vehicles are certified range of 200 plus kilometers, but from day one, what we've made sure is that we have a real range. We have trademarked this, but we wanted to communicate to our partners and customer the real, in general, average case, what you must expect. Like you will get anything from 140 in one of the variant to 170 in the higher variant. Of course, this is all kinds of aggressive things that they do, all kinds of different modes, but you could expect people to do much more also than these. And if you have a fast charging support, then of course, I mean, then range you can keep on extending. You can go from, let's say, Delhi to Chandigarh, Bangalore to Mysore, you can go Chennai to hospital, all of that. And there, the speed which I was talking about, the fast charging, in 15 minutes you get 50 kilometers. So let's just say you have done like, let's just say 140 kilometers, and you wait for a tea or a Maggie, and you can go and do another like 50 kilometers. Now the powertrain efficiency which I was talking about, while, I mean, one of the things that we talked about, the torque, peak power, efficiency is driving how much kilometer a vehicle can do on a single battery pack when fully charged. But the torque parameters, you might see these numbers, but just let me give you a plain simple fact. These are more than 100% of what an ICE vehicle do. So 100% more, that is like twice of that. And I know, I mean, a company coming and making this claim, you will sahi hoga. But I know that like a lot of these are numbers, but I thought we will see it, some of it in the action. So our team has 1 or 2 videos to show you to demonstrate this. In terms of the onboard charging, you have options of 3.3 kilowatt giving you 5. If there are some feedback that we have received where they wanted a 6.6 also, so you can get it in 4 hours. So these are 6.6 for a larger variant is available, and that can charge that variant in 4 hours. And by the way, your CCS AC is also available. I think this is something that was requested earlier, that we make sure that CCS we are not using only for DC charging. We also have enabled the CCS AC charging in the vehicle. So vehicle has those, you can plug it in the wall. You can also at the CCS station, you can use the CCS AC to charge the vehicle. Comes in 3 modes. You have the range mode when you need the maximum range. You have the thunder mode when you need those acceleration for you are short on time, you want to overtake. This is the mode that you put the vehicle in. And the Rhino is specifically we found when you are going too much up the hill, or khet se you are going onto that incumbent band bolte hain Hindi mein. So when you want to go up, this is the thunderbolt. It gives you extreme amount of power and torque at that for a very small short of time. So these 3 modes will make sure that Euler Turbo EV1000 can navigate any road that is there. Design, performance, efficiency, coming to the design. Design is a very important aspect. I mean, I've seen a lot of the vehicles that, that is there, but design is something, I don't only say design in terms of how it looks, while that is very, very important, because the looks matters. I mean, your people would want to feel a sense of confidence when they are buying a vehicle. But design also means how does the ergonomics of the interior of the vehicle work? How is the ingress? Is it comfortable for him to quickly get in, get out? If there is, let's just say, no load and he wants to relax, can he relax in the seat a bit? So all of those things drives our design principle. And specifically here, I would say, let me focus on the exterior first. So from the dawn of the civilization, the Indian bull has always gave us couple of like sense in terms of symbol. You had the strength, you had the stability, and you had the support. This is what an Indian bull gives, projects that feeling, and that is where we brought that design inspiration to make our vehicles look confident and bold. This is what we have. If you look at, I mean, it should, the bull, when you see, you know that there is something bold and confident, you don't mess with that. So it's kind of, that is what we want to, it's going to be quiet, it is there, it has a lot of power, energy, don't mess with it, and it's going to do the job that whatever you are going to ask it, so you can support on it, it has the strength. And on the side, we put all these muscular lines to make sure that EVs people should not feel that they're compromising on that performance. Because remember, we wanted to do both performance and affordability. So that performance comes from this design. Can we get an AV please?
डीजल गाड़ी में बहुत पावर होती है और किसी गाड़ी में भी पावर नहीं होती है।
ईवी और पावर, ईवी में तो कोई पावर ही नहीं है।
गाड़ियों को खींचेगी तो आपको क्या लगता है क्या होगा? इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल, इलेक्ट्रिक गाड़ियों, इंजन वाली गाड़ियों में
आप नहीं खींच पाएंगे,
नहीं खींच पाएंगे।
आपको क्या लगता है?
नहीं खींच पाएगी।
भैया हमें तो विश्वास नहीं हो रहा, आपकी छोटी सी गाड़ी में हमारा ट्रक और 7-8 ट्रक और खींच दिए एक साथ में। भाई मान गए हम, आपकी इस गाड़ी में बहुत दम है।
Now you can feel the performance of the vehicle, right? Yes? So coming to interiors, we wanted to make it extremely simple, clean, minimalistic. That was the goal we had given to the design team, and they have delivered on it. So the vehicle comes with lots of spaces. It comes with no distraction in the cabin so that the driver can really focus on the road. It comes with comfortable seats, like I had mentioned, so that if there's resting, not while just also driving point, the side seats are also comfortable. We in fact made sure between the two seats, the seat continues so that if he wants to lie down or wants to lie down, that is possible. Safe space cab, so you have enough space also. And we specifically made sure that nothing comes between, so that if they want to go from one side to another to get something from the glove box, and so these small things we have made sure that all of those are removed and clean. Storage, you have there at the bottom as glove box, so there's also one available as accessory at the back, so multiple storage options. Infotainment, that's something that Euler has been working on and has delivered in past, but you have a 7-inch infotainment where it's the maps, the WhatsApp integration, all of that has been done so that if you have to go to a certain location, you get it in the maps and then you can deliver. In terms of the options, you have flatbed, pickup, high deck, delivery, and tipper. So being sustainable isn't just about delivering the regular cargo, but it's also important that we join the mission of Swachh Bharat, and we have a tipper also available. You have the 200 and 220 cubic feet. So this is going to make sure that all of your daily requirement that you need is taken care of. This is what traditionally all the vehicles that are there in the market requires, but in fact you need more to also have a bit more. And yes, we have also put a light on it because we have seen with our previous vehicle that people, because these are bigger load body, they sometimes and they don't see the bottom, the braking lights have been turned on and they bump in the back while there's RUPD for the vehicle. But for the safety of the other two-wheeler and other, we've also put a light over there. So there is one at the bottom, but there is additional from the safety of the other people that are driving near these vehicles. Coming to the fourth pillar, that actually was the most important pillar when we were designing this vehicle, which is the vertical integration. We were a born electric brand, so we, like I mentioned, we were thinking from little scratch, say, deep integration, localization in India, because otherwise bringing some of these costs down was not possible. When you look at the bill of material, the batteries and electronics are one of the highest part of your bill of material, and that is the battery we have been doing, but the electronics is something that we also went in and made sure that large part of that is designed and built internally to deliver that affordability point that we were talking about. Battery management system, it's one of the core of like the battery because it's one of the most expensive parts. So you want to make sure that you're able to manage the cells and the modules internally in the batteries really well. It's important that the temperature of these cells are maintained at the right temperature. It is important that all of the cells in the module and in the batteries are in a similar operating voltages, because that gives you maximum range, maximum efficiency, and also gives you that larger life that you're looking from these vehicles. We support now across all 48 to 320, and eventually we are also extending this to 600 volt architecture. We also have our own instrument cluster, which also have integrated GPS and telemetry built in. So it's something that is always 90% uptime, because from day one, we wanted to make sure all the data is available so that we can enable multiple services for diagnostics, for preventive maintenance, for our financiers, to even our customers who want to see where their vehicle is and manage the fleet that they have. So this became very, very crucial, that we have an electronics that not only shows you to the person, but also is able to send these data for remote diagnostics. And with this, we have enabled remote log and digital logging, which I will just talk about. Stark, this is in our 4th generation. This is the vehicle control unit. It's like the brain of the vehicle. This decides when the ignition has been turned on, what to ask motor controller to do, what to ask battery to do, what to ask auxiliary battery, when to enable fast charging. This is the brain of the vehicle. It's in the 4th generation, so we would have done multiple iteration, learned, and now we have something that delivers one of the best, I would say, feedback, and not only just feedback for the customer, but also for us to make sure that what the customer wants, it delivers. This also enables your over-the-air update capability. This is very critical. Phone में update आता है, हम operating system update कर. Similarly, in these vehicles also, we have our operating system running, and we are able to update that with the start chip. So this is something that is very, very crucial. We don't realize when we see a vehicle, but these vehicles are software-defined vehicles. They are connected with internet, and it's very important that a lot of these innovation to be built here in India. Then only you can truly say that we can lead in this segment. We can not only consume, but we can export also. So this is something very critical. And coming from a software background, एक ऐप नहीं बनाते थे, wouldn't have done justice. So we built app, not just that reason, but we built app because couple of things. We wanted, if you look at these vehicles are there for last 50, 60 years. But when we are designing something, we are not designing for only 10, 20 years of past that has gone, but we are designing for the next 10, 20 years that is going to come. These vehicle ownership are in decades. They are not in for a phone that you buy for a 1.5 year and then you get a new phone. I mean, people are buying for 10 years. So we are thinking forward, what are some of the consumer behavior? What are the things that you will need, and what are the things that we can deliver with the capabilities that we have? Fleet management, while this brings fleet management something, but we also, for the individual, we have brought things like, this is something that you would have seen also when you're taking a flight, or any day you travel in the night, you will see all of these commercial vehicles parked on the road. Not everybody has a lush parking space in everything to park their vehicles. Some of the time these vehicles are parked on and they get stolen. Somebody has battery and they locked and took it. What we have done in these, there's a theft protection. So when you lock these vehicles with the app, you can do whatever you want, but you will not be able to turn on the vehicle, because we control that vehicle control unit, we control the BMS, we control all of these technology that is there, and these vehicles are remotely controlled. The fleet management is for when you are owning multiple of these vehicles. So you can also, as a fleet owner, you can see where your vehicles are, what status in terms of charging, where they are, how much of energy they have consumed. And these have gone again into multiple iterations. A lot of, I would say, our customers, our partners are using these to make their fleet better, efficient. So while, remember I was talking, there's an opportunity to not just build a cleaner vehicle. There was an opportunity to earn more, become more profitable, more intelligent, and these are the things that Euler is doing. We're focusing on, which not every other brand is focusing out there, and that truly sets us apart. And that's also one of the reasons we are the fastest growing electric commercial vehicle brand in the country. DigiLock, which I was just mentioning, recently one of our vehicle somebody took it away from Varanasi, one of the lot, but later, we got the request, we shut down the vehicle, and that vehicle got recovered. So these simple things, and that came in the newspaper also. So to summarize, you have the four pillars on which the Turbo EV 1000 has been built: the performance, the efficiency, the design, and the vertical integration. This is first in India and first in the world to deliver the combination of performance and efficiency. इधर देख लेते हैं, I think performance, affordability, बात कर लिया. I think seeing is believing, right? Want to see the vehicle. So without much further ado, can we get the vehicle, please?
हो जाएगा.
टर्बो खींचे 912, खड़े खड़े क्या देख रहा है, डीजल के दाम में ले आ यारा. टन टना टन 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 टारा, चलती टर्बो 212, लॉन्ग रेंज की ना हो टेंशन, सॉलिड है इसका फाउंडेशन. पावर सेविंग जाने मन है, एंटरटेनमेंट नंबर 1 है. फास्ट चार्जिंग होती है इसमें, वारंटी भी इसकी सुपर. दौड़ेगी जब मस्ती में तो सेविंग्स अर्निंग सुपर डुपर. खड़े खड़े क्या देख रहा, डीजल के दाम में ले आ यारा. टन टना टन 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 टारा, चलती टर्बो 212, टर्बो खींचे 912, चलती टर्बो 212, चलती टर्बो चलती टर्बो चलती टर्बो. आ गया है इंडिया का सबसे अफोर्डेबल कमर्शियल ईवी, ऑयलर टर्बो ईवी 1000. अब होगी कमाई ज्यादा, खर्चा कम, और बिजनेस चलेगा टन टना टन.
कमाई ज्यादा, खर्चा कम, तो बिजनेस चलेगा. कमाई ज्यादा, खर्चा कम, तो बिजनेस चलेगा. कम ऑन, कमाई ज्यादा, खर्चा कम, तो बिजनेस चलेगा. Thank you. But actually, can we get the vehicle out, please? I know seeing is believing. Without much further ado, please get the vehicle. So let me pause here a bit. I know we are excited to get photos, but product, how much powerful, how much great it is, it's only half of the story. The other half is a promise. A promise from me, a promise from Euler Motors to each one of you. And that promise is very simple. We will never leave you on the road alone. We will never leave you on the road alone. We have one of the best comprehensive AMC going with this vehicle. Less than 24 hours of service uptime. We have the best, I would say, service engineer network that we have built in the 60 cities that we are operating. So you should not only feel that the product is amazing, but we'll make sure that your business continues to run. And we are there to set not just the goal of like the most trusted product, but also the most trusted service network in the country. When you choose Euler, you're not just choosing the product, you're stepping into Euler's family, a family that truly believes that your business should continue running. This is our brand promise. Whether it's performance, whether it's service, whether it's care, we have a very, I would say, simple thing. We are here for you always. So at this product launch, while we're talking about the Euler Turbo EV 1000, remember this is, while this is a great vehicle, but this is also an ecosystem to Euler journey, Euler family. So as we launch this product, it's more than, as we launch this product, we have one of the core beliefs that I think I spend all the time internally. I think when we were even, I would say 10, much lesser than this, 10 people strong, that our promise is very simple. If you succeed, we succeed. You succeed, we succeed. That is very simple. And you succeed if the vehicle is delivering more, it's running, it's the fuel cost, your maintenance costs, your overall cost of the operating vehicle is lower. And that is what then automatically guides us. You succeed, we succeed. That's our promise, and that is Euler Motors for you. I know हमने performance की काफ़ी बातें कर ली है, and all of you are waiting for the price. So, any guesses before I reveal you the prices?
6 lakh.
How much, sir? What? कार बनाना पड़ जाएगा उसमें. Okay, cool. Can we have the price hold, please? Say एक count, 699,999. I mean, this is the product on which, this is a price on which you get the most diesel commercial vehicle. Yes? No? Is this affordable? Yes? You think we have matched both performance and affordability? You know what's a bit more affordable than this? Vehicle starts at 599, we truly meant when we said affordability. Performance and affordability. The world's first one-ton mini segment starting at 5999. Under 6 lakh. That is what I would say India is delivering for the global market in the electric commercial market. Yes, I would say, ladies and gentlemen, Euler Motors has done what a lot of us thought was not possible. Our vehicles will be available at this starting price, and this is going to stay as long as we can. And of course, there are things that we don't control, but this is not something that we are saying that we are going to change immediately or anything. This is going to be affordable. We'll continue to make sure that it stays at this price point. While we were talking about the affordability, of course, acquisition cost is one thing, the price at which you get the vehicle, and of course, your EMIs are set according to that, because your financing and everything sets according to that. But the operating cost, this is one of the vehicles that will have 1 rupees per kilometer of operating cost. 1 rupees per kilometer versus 7 rupees, 5 rupees, lot of delta. So that is why when we were saying that saving of minimum of 1 lakh, 1.15 a year, this is where it is coming from. And I think the best of the customers that you have seen, some of them which is doing like in 3 years, those 1 lakh kilometers, they will be saving more than 2 lakh and upwards in a year. You have the 3 variants. You have the starting at 599, 719.99. This is the series which I was talking about, the performance series, where you have for the denser cargo, bigger payload, higher torque, and then you have a fast charge version also. Remember, all of this is 1 ton minimum. So that is the minimum that you can carry in the vehicle. So 1 ton and this is all available. And as I talked about, the vehicle is just one part. We also have one of the best AMC comprehensive starting from 11,999. And then you get a 3-year standard warranty on the vehicle, but 5 years on the battery, and then 7 years is also extendable. So we truly, when we say that we are there with you, we know that we'll be making sure that the batteries go much beyond your EMIs are finished and you have made multiple times, and the technology and the product will continue to function. And we are willing to foot that bill. Without financing partners, I mean, you cannot sell the vehicle in the sea. And I'm very happy that a lot of folks have stepped up to make this product affordable. The down payment starts at 49,999. This is one of the best that you can get in the EVs. Right now, if you try to get an EV commercial vehicle in the market, the down payments are at all different prices. But the entire financing ecosystem partners have come together to make this product really affordable in terms of the down payment. So before I close, I would like to say thank you to all of you. I mean, this day, I've been looking forward for 2.5 years of the things that we could only back then imagine. But today, bringing that gap, I really feel that we are fulfilling that gap of that performance, the affordability, and doing it here in India. I mean, that's something that I always aspired for. And together with this team, the partners, and all of your support, Euler Motors have been able to deliver this. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time. And hopefully every year after that, energized and propelling India forward. Thank you so much.
All right, yeah, you will get the mic.
Right. Yeah. Good afternoon. This is T. Murli from Motor India and EV Tech News. Saurav, congratulations on the new product. I'm here.
Hi.
Now, while it's heartening to know that the cost per kilometer is rupee 1, so have you also considered the cost of a battery replacement after some time?
Yes. So the reason why we were talking about that 7 years sort of MC, because we believe that the battery should outlast any kind of EMIs, and typically in this market is like where we see at 4 and 5 years. But in case you do need, I think we'll have options available. I mean, where we can just replace the modules and you don't have to replace the entire battery pack. Of course, it depends on multiple factors around like what are the prices at that point of time, and also which version, because you have one starting with the lower end which will have roughly around 15-16 kilowatt going up to much higher. So depending on those, the prices will change. But the comfort that you should have is that even in the three-wheelers that we had, most people have done their EMIs, the batteries are continuing to perform, no replacement has ever happened so far. So that is why when we also say about range, right, you see the promises that we are making, we are saying 140, but people can do much more. The reason these promises are there is to make sure that we stay with you, and we know that these batteries will last 7 years, which is a significantly long journey. You will probably, most of the vehicle will see a second life journey at that point of time.
Hello. What's the savings that the customer can get by changing the modules instead of the whole battery?
See, roughly I would say 60 to 70% it would cost in the modules. So maybe roughly 30% you don't have to replace.
So over here, on to your right, Abhishek. So congratulations on the amazing product. Wish you all the best. I have two questions. So as you know, recently the government has come with GST implementation, which has actually reduced the prices of ICE trucks. While there has been no changes in EVs per se. So do you think the price gap, with the narrowing price gap, it can impact the volumes? I'm not only talking about your company, but the industry, EV industry. That's question one. And secondly, so the global EV industry is gripped by this rare earth crisis, rare earth magnet crisis. So is there any impact on rare earth magnet shortage on your products? If no, how what are the routes that you applied to offset it?
So great questions. So in terms of the first part, the GST impact, the product is still, I would say, even post the GST impact, what you can get a similar performing ICE engine vehicle, the product cost is just around or a bit lower than that. So impact for Euler, this product won't be there. And of course, the delta comes down because the prices of ICE has come down a bit, or as the OEM passes. But this remains extremely competitive in terms of that cost. That is when we're saying affordability and the performance part. We truly meant it. Performance, while it is better than some of these ICE vehicles, but the cost is also at that point. So let me give you an example. I think, one of the most best product in the segment would be at 6.4 lakhs earlier. I think recently I'm seeing at a price of 6.1 to 599 is what we are also seeing. This is post GST. This is similar to that. And in terms of performance, those have been, I would say, around 800 to 900 kg. This is on the 1000 kg. So we will continue to match that. Your second question on the magnets. See, the beauty of, like I said about Euler, the vertical integration and the India localization piece. So our three-wheelers, there are already, I would say, a couple of thousand of them, almost 3,000-4,000 of them are running on the road, which are magnet-free motors. So we do have technology that does not require us to depend on the rare earth, and that is already there. So of course, in general, in day-to-day, there will have impact, there will have you will have dates moving here and there, but largely as a brand, we are protected because of the investment that we continue to make into R&D and making sure that these products are some of like less disturbed. Because if you look from the 2018, you had pandemic, so you had the chip shortages, then you had cell prices going up. So some of this we do see, and the reason I think Euler is little bit better off is because of that vertical integration. So if one chip is not available, then we redesign the PCB around the other chip and we are able to get to market faster. So that I think is the core strength which allows us to navigate some of these rough weathers. No, these are not, but we have the technology. If it is required, it will go.
Hello. Hey, Saurav.
Hi.
Abhijit here from Carwale. So, there is a lot of thoughtful engineering in the product, and there is a lot of it. What I wanted to know was how are you battling this uphill struggle against legacy manufacturers in terms of scale and providing that technology, because that's a lot of money burning in. I just wanted to understand what are the struggles and what are the solutions that you could find.
So I do want to thank my shareholders because they have really believed in our vision and push. Yes, building electric vehicle and OEM does require a lot of capital, and our shareholders are behind our vision because they definitely believe that this team can deliver one of the top global brands in commercial electric vehicle, not just in India. Coming to the point on how do we, so some of it is also naivety, I'll be very honest with you, which I was trying to say. When we started, we were also coming from a clean slate, so we saw the problems and then but we also are guided in our senior leadership. A lot of people that have seen these scales, they have seen these experiences happening at automotive, so they also guide us in terms of how to navigate some of. And we are making investments as we continue to, if you look from the scale, we already have two, I mean in that Born Electric there was a video running, we already have 2 plants at this point of time, which is capable of doing almost 6 lakh square feet, which is capable of doing thousands of these vehicles every month. So as the demand continues to increase, we are anticipating that a year or 2 forward, and we will try to make sure that we have it ready as the demand, and we are able to cater to it. Of course, there are plus minus your projections, and there are gaps, and then there are policies that we can't control, or the global situation that happens. But as a company, we are in a very strong position to make sure that this electrification happen. And one of the reasons I did put it out there is it's also to my team a job that we must deliver on. So thank you.
Hi, Saurav, Raman from CEO of Media. This side.
Yeah. Hi.
Anyone?
Hi.
Yeah. Saurav here.
Sorry. Okay. Two of you.
So Raman from CEO of Media. My question is, हमने पहले 1 साल पहले स्ट्रोम ईवी देखा आने दे, और हमने उस पर आर्मर वर्जन देखा था, 4mm का चैसी देखा, स्केटबोर्ड चैसी, वेरी डिटेल्ड प्रेजेंटेशन. तो ये जो है हमारा EV 1000, ये कहाँ प्लेस हो रहा है, उसके ऊपर या उसके नीचे? लास्ट टाइम जो हमने देखा था तो हमने एडास की बात किया था, नाइट विजन कैमरा की बात किया था, और AC का बात किया था वहाँ पे. तो हमने ये सब यहाँ पे स्किप किया है बिकॉज आई गेस अफोर्डेबिलिटी इज अ वन फैक्टर. एंड सेकेंड थिंग इज कि आई गेस लीजिंग में भी वो गाड़ी का ज़्यादा था. आई डोंट नो लीजिंग पे कुछ अभी आपने भी बात नहीं किया. सो दैट इज अ थिंग कि ये कहाँ प्लेस होता है, या स्ट्रोमी भी अभी भी आएगा पोर्टफोलियो में वो भी, क्योंकि दिस इज थर्ड व्हीकल आई गेस, तो शायद वो यहाँ रहेगा. तो कहाँ हम उसको प्लेस कर रहे हैं? एंड लास्ट वन इज कि हम इसको कब से देख रहे हैं? 60 सिटीज़ में आप लोग ऑलरेडी फंक्शनल हो, तो हम इसको कब से देख पाएंगे रोल आउट होते सड़क पे, कि हमें कब मिल जाएगा, मतलब व्हेन आर यू पब्लिकली लॉन्चिंग?
So 3 questions. So first one, so yes, Storm EV is at 1500 kg certified. This one is around 1000 kg. 3-wheeler is at your 688, 700 kg. So now we are covering a wide range. So depending on what payload that you need, you can exactly match your requirement. Second thing, in terms of the EMIs, and we also have leasing option available with these vehicles. I mean, if there are institution partners that are looking for, or a large fleet owner looking for institution, all of the financing partners are making sure these are available. The choice between, I think, the night vision assist or bringing the ADAS and some of this is the affordability. You answered that question beautifully. So it lies in the afford. So this product has been looking at like what is the exact requirement of the customer at this price point and matching that with the tech. So from everything from lights to design of the vehicle to serviceability to payload to range has been fine-tuned to what is the value they are looking at and what is the price they are willing to pay for it, and we match that because the Vivo electrification will happen. You Storm in its category is phenomenal. I mean the long range, I mean still today I think 200 kilometers on a single charge is one of the best with 10 feet load body in the segment, but it's a different category of customer who wants to, let's just say, drive 300 kilometers. But then there are set of customer who would want to deliver the e-commerce or FMCG or some of these load in the nearby cities, and they don't want like a 10 feet and they're okay with a 7.5 or 8.2. So this is designed for that set of customer. And this will be affordable right away. I think we will, available right away. In the couple of, I think, weeks, we should start rolling out to all these cities that we have.